What's up, guys? Trade recap for the day. Honestly, today seems pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like the biases were pretty short. This whole week I've been pretty bearish. Um, but honestly, I didn't want to even trade AM session this morning because I was out late last night, so I didn't think I was gonna wake up. And then two, Friday is probably my like most least probable day, so I kind of just faded today. So I was like, I'm just not gonna wake up, and I shifted my attention more towards London and Asia. Um, So coming in from even looking at yesterday, we were bearish. Yesterday we got the retracement, but during after AM session we got that dump down, and then we got the retrace again. So as you can see, we were pretty choppy, but we were still kind of respecting bearish price action. So coming in to and pushing towards Asia, um, on the 15-minute, we were kind of just like retracing up, and there isn't really much PD arrays that we could bounce off of. So we swept up lunch highs, and then if we go on the 5-minute, the only thing that we could really like see reversals off was this BPR right here. So we have this overall BPR, we tapped into it, and we respected CE of it, and that's when I kind of wanted to see shorts. So coming in, as you can see, both times wicks came up, tapped it, but bodies stay below. So that showed me willingness to go down. And then I'll show you guys my executions. I took 3 trades. Um, one partial TP for 1 RR, one loss of 1 RR, so I was down like $2. And then my full TP, which was the move. But marking down, I had this low resistance liquidity that was built up on market open leading towards Asia session. So that seemed like pretty easy things to target. So after we got that 30-second inversion down, I took that after we respected that CE level, and also being my narrative being bearish as well. So then my position was something like this. Almost got stopped out, and then my phone, I was targeting about 2.6 RR. So yeah, that was my trade. I almost got stopped out a couple times, but when you have a decent stop loss, you are going to be protected. And my protection was honestly just going to be this final fair value gap right there. So that's why I kind of put it there. But yeah, as you can see, it finally moved down at the 8:30 macro, pushed down, tapped to the 15-minute, and that's where I got my partial, 50% out. And then my final TP was going to be at this low. But as you can see, we reversed back. So that was my 1 RR trade. But then I was like, okay, this is probably the spot we reverse off of. So we got another V shape out of it, took that, and then we got stopped out. Yeah, we just got stopped out there. But coming into our actual macro, or the 9 p.m. macro, we came in one more time, tapped CE one more time, created an S&T with ES. Let's see if I can find it. This one right here. So created that S&T right here, showing me that we were still bearish. So then I took that 30-second inversion, with 10 cons, and then stops were at this high, and then price honestly just flushed straight down. So my first TP was here, and then my final TP was my final target, which was here. There you go. So then that was about a 3 RR trade, risking about let's say about $200 to make $500. Yeah, and that's everything for the day, of my trading day. I locked myself out right after that, and then I just went to the club. But looking at AM session, I'm just gonna kind of comment on AM session. So coming in, Trudy Open was here. Trudy was open here. Came up during London, manipulated. PM session highs, dumped down. And then what did it target? This purple line was previous day's lows. I can mark that down. So even on the daily, we can see that we're kind of like bouncing off of this wick and also these imbalances right here. So we are kind of just in consolidation, figuring out what we want to do. So if you want to measure this, upper portion held. Not only that, but we also swept Wednesday and Thursday lows. So, and not only that, finally, not only that, we got manipulation here, took out the lows, came up one more time, pre-market, dump one more time, got a fat doji wick. So crazy absorption and like so many absorption at this low. Came back, gave us a nice rejection wick, finally gave us first presented right here. And then we can assume that this is going to be a breakaway gap because of how much bullish push we are getting. So like we're literally leaving, like even after here we tapped the CE, leaving first presented wide open, traded up. So this is now a protected fair value gap and aka a breakaway gap. So then what does that tell us? That we are extremely bullish. London was here. You could have targeted London right here, and then after going through London, we could target previous day highs, which was in line of this volume imbalance. And you can see this volume imbalance only if you turn on settlement price. And then honestly, it helps because honestly, on the higher time frame, we weren't really bouncing off of anything. Like on the daily chart, we were kind of just in this wick. You could have graded this wick, but these volume imbalances are nice to have just to grade, just to see like, because there's potential to bounce off these levels as well. Because even if you look in the 4-hour, like we're just in this huge 4-hour fair value gap. So it's nice to have these small volume imbalances that can help us judge price. But coming in to the day, that was probably the level I was probably going to be looking at. On Wednesday, we did bounce off of it. And then today, we bounced off of it one more time. And that was probably like the only time I would see shorts. As you can see, this wasn't too clean. We got that S&T, but if you look at the price action, like we were kind of just choppy, not even an inversion fair value gap. I guess this would be the inversion. Tap, and I guess this would have been not bad. But then it would have been outside the macro, outside the 11-10 macro, which is not ideal. So you want us to be distributing during the macro. So we probably fade this. Wait until the 1150 macro. 1150 macro, what do? We perfectly tapped into CE one more time of that volume imbalance. We got the breaker as well, lined up. So we got the CISD, inversion fair value gap. That is the perfect entry right there. Stops can be at this high, anticipating this BPR was going to stay intact. And then this breaker also to hold price down as well. So, and then what did we do during lunch? We just attack AM stops. So we had these stops right here, these stops right here, these stops right here. And then honestly, that was probably it because Trudy Open was right here. Trudy Open was right here. And that's exactly what we reacted off of. Like these seems pretty juicy, but Trudy Open, because it is a time, very important time and price, people like to top tick and also are able to top tick and bottom tick off of these levels because it is a timed level. So that is why we probably reversed off of this level, and that is probably why that was going to be your final TP if it wasn't just these two right there. This seemed like an easy target, and this seemed like an easy target leading up to Trudy Open. So just be careful when getting like fat positions because this is a 9 RR trade because anything like 10 p.m., anything like let's see, 10 p.m., any 4 hour interval and intraday open are pretty uh are pretty good reactionary points. But yeah, I think that's everything for the day. After that move, we were kind of just chopping, and now we're kind of just in this range again, like just bouncing off this we saw this huge unfilled 15-minute fair value gap, which was the balance price range, and also we are bouncing off that volume imbalance. So it is a Friday. Don't expect anything else. So pretty solid trading week. And then honestly, Monday I might come back with one, but then I've been trying to like trade two, and I think that's just been kind of getting to me. So either I'm just gonna stick with trading my funded until I get another payout, or I might just stick with one eval and just start slowly building one until I can stack up more accounts. But yeah, I think that's everything for the week. Hope everyone had a good training week. I will see you guys again on Monday. Peace.